Is this working now? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Let's go in the Discord to see if Tony's son can hear my voice. Tony son? Tony son? Okay, he says it's working, so I guess it's working. Although I could be wrong. But we'll see. Okay then. Sit in my chair. Welcome everyone to ABS Tier 1 for round 10 of the championship here at Zandvoort. Is it Zandvoort or Zandvoort? I never know which one it is. But either way, we're in the Netherlands this week. If you saw last week, you would have seen the most exciting race in the history of exciting races at Hungary. So, so hopefully we will get another one of those exciting races today. As I load my PC up, so I the Twitch chat. ABS _ Racing League. There we go. Okay. Right. So I am now watching the stream on my laptop. So anything you say in the Twitch chat, I can see now. So yay. Okay, so now I have a girl. You don't have a girlfriend anymore. I'm your girlfriend now. That's what man thought. Yeah, we got oh, by the way, I am the only one in the commentary box as of right now, but Adam should be joining me soon. So no, well, I've just answered that question, Feta. But yeah, so Adam will join me in a bit, or so he says. But you never can be sure. So we'll see, I guess. But for the time being, need to look. He's in your bed, but I'm in his Twitch chat. Oh. Okay. But yeah, we've got 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. As you can see on the mini-map in the bottom right-hand corner, pretty much everyone is out on track. There are only about 4 people that are in the pit, so this should be an interesting battle of track position in the final stages of this qualifying session. So so yeah, should be an interesting one. I've not really got a whole lot to talk about. FRA LMG is currently fastest with a 108.2. He will be absolutely charged up for this race, I would imagine, after last week, where he was leading the majority of the race and then just missed out on his first win in, I believe, over a year. So so he will be very unhappy about that and will be, I'm sure, more determined than ever this week to try and take the win. In second place at the moment, much to my disappointment, Busy Gorgon, the Tier 2 driver, aka Nathan. He is Tier 2, but why is he in Tier 1? And why? Well, a better question is, why is he in Tier 2 if he's second in Tier 1? And I will tell you the answer to that question. The answer to that question is that he is very, very good at Zandvoort. Or Zandvoort, I don't know how you say it. He's very, very good at this track. But he's not as overpowered at the other tracks as he is here. So that is why he is racing today, and that's why he is currently second. So I was speaking to Jar before the race actually begun, well, before the qualifying session actually begun, and he said he wouldn't be surprised if Busy Gorgon actually took the win here today. So that just shows how quick Nathan is around here, and I'm sure he'll probably dominate Tier 2 tomorrow, which is very much to my dismay, as I'll probably be racing in it. But yeah, in third is Alfie George for AlphaTauri. I haven't seen a whole lot of amazing performance. Well, obviously every driver in ABS Tier 1 is pretty amazing, but we haven't seen any how do I word this without offending anyone? Outstanding performances from Alfie George for quite some time, and he's currently sitting third at the moment. So with a 108.3. So very fair. Well, apart from LMG, we're used to LMG being very good in qualifying, but quite a mixed-up top three as of right now. VRT Lily is fourth, the championship leader, of course, by quite some margin. Just about managed to get a podium last week after being last for about the entire race, and somehow found his way up to second or third double Ferrari podium in the end. When it was looking really good for Mercedes. Didn't turn out well for Mercedes, unfortunately. TRT Danny is in the top 5 for McLaren. Led a few laps last week in Hungary. Missed out on a podium, unfortunately, due to the amount of time penalties he had. Sink Sam is 6th for Mercedes. Was leading for a couple of laps in Hungary as well last week, but missed out on the win and a podium. So Mercedes. It was for last week for Mercedes. It was what could have been, unfortunately. And look at that, we had everyone out on track, and now all of a sudden we only have one person out on track. And I believe that is Maddest Gamer Boss, who's gone into the top 2, as I've been waffling actually. He was, I believe, 8th before, and he's now gone second fastest. Just milliseconds ahead of Busy Gorgon. So very nice lap there from Maddest Gamer Boss. Maddest Gamer Boss has taken a pole position in ABS Tier 1 before. I believe it was Monza where he took that pole position. Unfortunately, wasn't able to convert that into a win. We'll have to see if he can do that today. Corey Marshall is retired. He's currently 8th. I'm not sure why he's retired. So 8th will be the best he can manage. ABS Jarv, our resident Finnish league owner, man, person, boy thing. He is currently 9th for Renault, and oh god, I really wish I had a Dutch co-commentator on hand to help pronounce that, but I really don't know, so I'm just going to say Brood, or Bruges. Brood is a bit easier to say, and I'm just going to check my phone now, see if Adam's come in or not. No, is the answer. As I look at my phone, actually, he just sent me a message. His Xbox is updating, so that is why he has not joined us yet. Hopefully he will join us mid-race, but we'll have to see. Jarv does a nice burnout there as he exits the pit lane, and I would imagine we have a timing glitch, because there's no way Jarv is going to get round in 33 seconds. So, yep, just bear in mind that timer in the top left corner... Oh my god, is that Lily's crashed? Oh dear. Okay, let's see if we can see what's happened there. Who's the next person to come through there? Is it going to be Sam? Yes, it is. So we'll ride on board with Sam, see if we can get an idea of what... Oh, he's already disappeared, so... It's a very weird place to crash. I don't see where he could have crashed, unless he spun and somehow spiraled into the barriers. But yeah, so that's both Ferraris out of the qualifying session, as the timer hits 0 now, but the timer has not hit 0 for the drivers, so bear that in mind. Everyone will still be still be starting their laps. As Surfy in the chat has said, "What a noob." Surfy, you're tier 4, and not even the championship leader in tier 4. And whoever's on the ABS Racing League account is threatening to ban Feta. Oh dear. That is, yeah, that, and Feta has responded with, "I will kiss you." Okay, so we got a bit of gay stuff going on in the chat now. I mean, I'm not against it. Nothing wrong with it, I suppose. I'm not gay, though. Well, actually, I'm only gay with Beans F1, or Feta Cheese. Other than that, I'm 100% straight, as the checker flag has still not come out, as Sam carries quite a lot of speed through Sector 3 there, as he comes into the final penultimate corner, sorry. through the final corner as we got yellow flags in the first sector. Is that Axe who spun, I think, as Sam crosses the line, goes first, actually. Nice lap there from Sync Sam, goes from 7th to 1st. His teammate crosses the line and goes even faster. FRA LMG with a 108.0 goes fastest ahead of his teammate Sync Sam, and now they're all going to start crossing the line. I am not prepared to it in the slightest. Busy Gorgon and TRT Danny are 5th and 6th for McLaren. Who's going to be next? It will be AB. No, it's going to be one of the Alfa Romeos, but I don't know who it was. I believe it was, yeah, Polar God. Polar God goes 11th. ABS Jarv goes 8th. Next to cross the line will be Mr. Boca, but he's in the pits. So, yeah, and can go to cross the line and not improve. So he stays 18th. And I believe that is it, because V2X combat is invalid. You do love to see Haas 19th and 20th. And it's especially embarrassing because I said that Formula Acos was quick. Which he is, in all fairness. I'm not sure why he's so far off the pace. But yeah, I mean, well, Haas, winners last week, 19th and 20th this week. You do love a bit of consistency from Haas, don't you? Oh, I'm going to fire my entire lineup. Moving on. I'm going to get my phone now so I can just monitor when Adam's going to join. I have 22% of charge. For God's sake. Xbox is not working. So that's not good, in case anyone didn't know. So if you do want to commentate with me, feel free to message us at I want to commentate with CB8 plays YT at gmail.com. Yeah, we'll see if anyone comes. I'm not sure if it will be Adam. But we'll see. We'll see. Feta has started a little bit of a chant in the chat. We love Chris. I love me as well. I'm pretty nice. Hello, Venom. Look at me go. I'm very interactive with the chat right now. Surfy said, we hate... Ban this kit. You're lucky I am on the FRS account on my laptop and not the ABS one. Otherwise, I would have muted you. But yeah, hopefully someone joins me, but we'll see. I mean, it's not an absolute disaster if no one joins me, because unlike Tony's son, I can handle commentating by myself. It's just a bit boring. But yeah, as the timer has now begun, so 30 seconds then before we begin the formation lap for ABS Tier 1. Damn, getting hate for being an FRS. I mean, I am partial to ABS and FRS, which is not common because most people either hate one or the other. Bro, they just banned me from the chat. Bro, they banned me from my own chat. Bro, I'll give it to you. That was actually good, but all I need to do is just log out. Yeah, so I can see the chat again now. Fair play, that was actually good. But yeah, so all the drivers then are beginning their formation lap now. FRA LMG starts on pole position. I believe he took... yeah, I think this is his second pole position in a row then for FRA LMG. He starts ahead of his teammate Sync Sam. Brilliant qualifying for Mercedes, reminiscent of real life with a 1-2. Alfie George, his best ever qualifying session in ABS history. Well, probably one of the best for AlphaTauri as far as I know. He will be starting the race from third, ahead of Maddest Gamer Boss, who's taken one pole position so far in this season, who is starting ahead of the Tier 2 driver and Tier 1 reserve. Busy Gorgon, he will start fifth, ahead of his teammate, TRT Danny, the admin who doesn't do admin things very often. He starts ahead of the championship leader, VRT Lilly in the Ferrari, who starts ahead of ABS Jarv, the Finnish basketball player league owner man, who starts ahead of Corey Marshall, the second Ferrari, the Valtteri Bottas of ABS Ferrari, He starts ahead of GSR 8F1 in the Alfa Romeo, who starts ahead of his teammate FRA Polo. Got different strategies between the two Alfa Romeos. One starts on soft, one starts on mediums. They start ahead of Bruges, who is going to be starting from 12th for Red Bull. Don't know a whole lot about him. Axe F1, he starts 13th for Racing Point on the medium compounder tyre. Free tyre choice for everyone who starts outside the top 10 as always. GSR FH444, he's requested me to call him FH just to keep things simple. He starts 14th ahead of his teammate Mr. Boca, who starts 15th. I believe he took pole position in France, or had a good qualifying session at least. He starts ahead of SV Tuck, the Finnish boy, who starts ahead of TRT Immortal, aka Josh. Starts ahead of Kagoda, and then the two Hatters round out the grid. So we are just about ready to go for ABS Tier 1 here at Zandvoort. And I, as always, will ride on board with the pole sitter to see if the revs are rising, which they're not. Shock. Let's listen. Sometime now. There we go. So the revs are now rising for ABS Tier 1 here at Zandvoort. It's imaginary lights out and away we go. It's a good start from the two Mercedes up front as one of the Alfa Romeos, not Alfa Romeos, Williams gets squished a little bit there as there's massive contact into turn 1. And Maddest Gamer Boss up into second place. Sam Cole has slipped all the way back to 8th. TLT Danny has had a good start. He's up to 4th as we got a safety car already. Oh dear, so that is FRA Polo God out of the session already. What was that? 20 seconds, not even that, 10 seconds of racing before we have a safety car. I didn't really catch much of it, to be honest, because the camera angle was so bad. It was literally staring at the pit lane wall while everyone was crashing into each other at turn 1. So yeah. But it's FRA LMG who has held the lead on that one. He will lead them all up to the safety car. Jet Belly's online. Let's go. Better late than never. I will invite him to the party now. So we will have a co-commentator after all, albeit a bit late. But it's good to have him here when he eventually joins my party. So everyone, give Jet Belly a very warm welcome to the stream. But yeah, so FRA LMG leads them. Maddest Gamer Boss has had a good start. He's up to second place. Alfie George has held position on lap 1. He was involved in a little bit of contact, I believe, at the start. But obviously not too bad as he is stayed out. As that's two cars peeling off into the pit lane. Kagoda and Busy Gorgon pitting on lap 1 for front wing changes. So they have not had a good start whatsoever. It's an especially bad start for Kagoda because he has started on the medium compounder tyre. V2X Combat is also in. Why did I even assume he wouldn't be? Let's be honest. As more than half the grid are in actually. Sync Sam, one of them. He started on the front row, now down to 19th position. Disastrous start from Sam Cole as Jet Belly is now in the party. I can hear him rustling around in his room, which he does say is quite cold most of the time. Jet Belly 1.
Hello.
Hello. Have you
I need an invite.
put your yeah, I will do that. Have you included your audio?
Yes, I have included my audio.
Good. So we've had a carnage start, Adam.
Let's go. So I didn't miss anything.
Yeah. So we had one. Hold on. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 people pitting for front wing changes on lap 1.
Awesome. Isn't that what we want to see in real life too?
It is what we want to see. It was thing is though, pretty much no one got spun round. That's the weird thing. Like it was basically just everyone tripping over each other and destroying their own front wings.
Oh well, that's fine then. So that's fine. That's just getting your elbows out and it's just racing.
Yeah, one person didn't make it through the first lap though. FRA Polo God somehow ended up in the barriers. So yeah, so we have one retirement, which is why we're under safety car at the moment.
Oh, so I'm not missing anything because my Xbox was playing up. Thank you, Zandvoort, for being Zandvoort.
Nah. You you missed the qualifying session and well the first 10 seconds of lap 1 before we went under safety car. So you haven't really missed much.
Good.
So yeah.
What's the order?
Something I wanted to
Top
say,
three?
but I can't remember. FRA LMG, Maddest Gamer Boss, and Alfie George.
That's a pretty good top three. That's got a lot of potential because Alfie George, right? He's not usually on the podium there, so maybe there's some battling.
AlphaTauri are never on the podium.
That's true.
Although I do have to say, AlphaTauri is the team I did not want to see on the podium this week because I mean they're Haas's main rivals now because we're less than 50 points behind them now. So
I drive for them in Tier 3. Should I just not score points for the rest of the season?
That's a good idea. I think you should straight line your teammate every race.
Okay.
I think that would be a winning strat.
For Haas, anyway.
So, yes, you're secretly a Haas employee.
Yeah.
You're just on loan to AlphaTauri. Safety car in this lap, so we will be getting underway again. Perfectly timed for your arrival, Adam, as they all weave their way down the back straight towards Sector 3. I'm going to get a track map up.
Contact to the front between Maddest Gamer Boss and
Oh,
FRLMG.
5 seconds.
There's also drive-throughs at the back. There's 11.
There was a couple of people that jumped the start.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's probably where all the carnage came from then. But I'll let you get underway.
To be honest, I'm not sure. As FRA LMG has gone very, very early indeed, actually. He might have gone slightly... No, actually, no, I think he'll be okay. As he exits the final corner, safety car is just about in the pit, so he's timed that pretty much to perfection, has FRA LMG. So we start lap 4 of 36 then. FRA LMG leads them. As you can see, TRT Danny here defending from Corey Marsh, as we've already got two... Oh, for God's sake. That's the other Haas of Formula ACOS in to the pits now on lap 4. So one Haas in becomes two Haas's in. So yeah, TRT Danny runs fourth just behind Alfie George. Corey Marshall putting TRT Danny under pressure. Bruder's had a good start. He's up to 6th position for Red Bull. So is ABS Jove. He's gained 1 or 2 positions on the first lap. VLT Lilly running 8th. I believe that's actually that might be the same position he started in, but I'm not completely sure. TRT Immortals also had a good start. He's gained about 7 positions, I believe. So yep, good start from the other AlphaTauri. Of course, that's not what I want to see, but it is what you want to see if you're an AlphaTauri fan. So yeah, Busy Gorgon currently runs 11th. The Tier 2 driver making not his Tier 1 debut, but just racing in Tier 1 today, had a disastrous start. Qualified in P5 and then unfortunately lost his front wing almost immediately and is now running 11th. So, yeah. Jet Belly.
Yeah, I'm just noticing at the back there was something going on. I think SV TaxX and GSR at F1. He was closing down on him, but I think he made a mistake coming into the curb after that really fast, difficult right-hander in the first sector. Yeah, just midway through the second sector, he got a bit of out shape on that curb. It just had a little half spin, and I think he could have been an overtaking opportunity there if he didn't push himself too hard. So, just learning.
There are a number of places on this track where it's very easy to spin out. Chief among which Turn 1. What others?
Turn 2,
Turn 11,
Turn 4.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much all of them can cause death, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Turn 2 not really, because Turn 2 is a bit of a nothing corner. So, yeah, Turn 4 is weird because it's so banked on the exit. Like, you put the power down too early and then you're in the barriers before you can say, oh no. Turn 7, Turn 8, flat out, well, pretty much flat out. Very easy to lose the rear end.
Just a second.
If you're not careful.
B2X Combat is on the inside on the attack for TOT Immortal. Coming down into the first corner, he breaks really late. TOT Immortal looking for the switchback line. Can't really do anything about it though. B2X Combat up into 11th place. You'd be loving that.
I do love that indeed. And while that's been going on, SV Tuck has been disqualified for going the wrong way. So that's interesting. I'm not sure why that has happened. I'm not exactly sure where he was running. So yeah. So SV Tuck now the second retirement of the race. Then we are now left with 18 runners after just 6 laps, and not many of those laps have been under full racing speed. So, strange things happening in the wizarding world of ABS at the moment.
We might get another overtake.
Nothing really going on.
From Sync Sam, we might get another overtake from him. V2X Combat has also got his eyes on 10th place, Busy Gorgon. Both of them, like, well within half a second.
It's a bit difficult to know where to look at the moment, but here comes V2X Combat. In the background comes Sam on Immortal. We'll stay with this. Busy Gorgon just about manages to hold it around the outside of V2X Combat, stays ahead and in 10th position. As in the background, Sync Sam has gotten past TLT Immortal. So Mercedes ahead of Alpha Tauri then. Sam Cole trying to make up for his disastrous start on lap 1, where he unfortunately lost his front wing as TLT Immortal runs very, very wide there through turn 7, just about touched the grass on the outside. And that, of course, sent him wide and lost him another position. So GSR ADF1 was the man who got past him. He's now running 13th. So TLT Immortal, 2 positions in 1 lap, unfortunately. So Immortal not having the greatest of time out there, but it could be worse. You could be one of these 3, Mr. Boca, Formula Acos, and Kagoda, who unfortunately were the 3 that got drive-throughs. So yeah, they are running 16th, 17th, and 18th at the moment. A long way off the pack, but they are running at relatively the same pace. Surprisingly, they're all in a group together. So yeah, they'll maybe try and work together to get back towards the main pack. As back to the battle for the lead we go. Maddest Gamer Boss 7/10 off of FRA LMG, just about staying within the DRS, which is of course what you do want, because if you have the DRS, then of course you don't need to use as much ERS. So Maddest Gamer Boss is doing what he needs to do at the moment. As we got yellow flags, is that Danny? Danny is round. So TLC Danny spins round at, I believe, turn 9. Yeah, I had to look at my phone for that, but it doesn't matter. TLT Danny spins round after a pretty good start. He's now down to 8th, and I wonder if that's Immortal.
Yeah.
Immortal, yeah. Immortal's also had an incident as he runs very, very wide and into the gravel, and he's lost his front wing as well. So TLT Immortal, that's weird actually, because TLT Immortal is really good at this track. This is like his favourite track, and I know from experience how good he is, as VLT Lily and ABS Java swapping positions. VLT Lily up to 6th position ahead of ABS Java now, and to be honest, that was not really a battle that would have lasted very long. ABS Java versus VLT Lily, as we got yellow flags again, and that looks like it's just Immortal going very, very slowly. As he comes into the pit lane for either retirement or a front wing change. So we'll have to see which one. And I would imagine it's going to be retirement, as he did not brake whatsoever.
There it is.
So I expected that. So TLT Immortal then becomes the 3rd retirement of this race then on lap 9. As FRA LMG has just about got outside the DRS range of Maddest Gamer Boss. So as I say that, Maddest Gamer Boss gets just about back into it. This is going to be very, very close for the DRS. If he does get DRS, Maddest Gamer Boss can just about get back into it. And if I'm honest, I think Maddest Gamer Boss has just about got the DRS. Yeah, but to be honest, I think FRA LMG is the much better driver at this point, because you can see Maddest Gamer Boss is struggling to keep in the DRS, and he has used all of his DRS compared to FRA LMG, who has got 42%. And yes, V2X Combat and Busy Gorgon back for round 2, and as the same as round 1, Busy Gorgon stays ahead of V2X Combat. V2X Combat takes quite a wide-ish line through there, trying to get a good exit out of turn 4, and now through the long turn 5, turn 6, turn 7 couple of corners, and then before you actually need to brake for turn 7, and then turn 8, of course, right after. This is quite a difficult sector to get right, I think. Like, no matter if you're on wheel or controller, especially on qualifying laps, because I am on controller at the moment. Because
you switched back?
Yeah, I did, because my wheel was doing weird things. It was accelerating when I wasn't touching the accelerator. So, yeah, I've gone back to controller.
What wheel have you got? Because I know the Thrustmaster ones, you can just email them and they'll send you a new lot, a new set. There's FRA LMG pits. So there's Busy.
Yep, hard tyres going on.
TRT Danny's just pitted. Corey Marshall.
Yep,
also.
and there's a Ferrari crew out there as well. Corey Marshall into the pit, so they are the first few drivers to pit for fresh tyres. They're all going for the hards, so I'd imagine that's a one-stop strategy for FRA LMG, Corey Marshall and TRT Danny. Oh, Busy Gorgon and V2X Combat. You didn't even say who it was, you just said they're going side by side.
Yeah, I know, because I was just watching the battle and I was so amazed because they went side by side pretty much through the entire first sector of the lap. And the first sector of this lap is really, really long because they went like all the way up the straight, they were side by side, and then I think V2X Combat backed out. As I think that's probably the best decision you could have made. Such a good battle.
Yeah, I have a sixth sense which could just sense what you were talking about, so I was immediately on the battle. Kind of similar to last week when Such crashed into the barriers, and I got him mid-spin as here comes V2X Combat. Busy Gorgon got a very, very poor exit out of turn 13, and it has given an opportunity to V2X Combat, but Sam Cole is also joining this party now as we're going to nearly go three wide here for what is going to become P5, as it looks like Busy Gorgon's going to lose 2 positions, or will he? Busy Gorgon in no mood whatsoever to concede. Sam Cole still trying to hang on in there. V2X Combat has just about got this position sorted out, and Busy Gorgon, not willing to concede whatsoever, is just about staying ahead, but for how much longer? Because here comes Sam. I don't think Sam's got the exit he was quite wanting to get through there, but he's not giving up. Oh my god. Outside of turn 7, that's never going to work, and it doesn't work because he slots back in behind Busy Gorgon. Good battle from these three for what is now P5 in this race. So Busy Gorgon now the leader of this train as Sam runs slightly wide there. That will have lost him a touch, just a touch of time, but not too much. Of course, he's got the DRS, so doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that's a cracking bit of driving from those three. That's I think it's Toady on the ABS Racing League account, but he said busy bottle. But yeah, Busy Gorgon got a really bad exit out of turn 3, which put him on the back foot into turn 14. But in all of that, it allowed Sam to catch right back onto them as here he comes. Oh my god, not Busy Gorgon, V2X Combat. V2X Combat is on a mad one at the moment. V2X Combat ahead of GSR FH444 takes 2nd place. So he is now the lead medium runner, which is the alternate strategy. So yeah, V2X Combat making up for his broken front wing start. But although saying that, he has 8% of ERS compared to GSR FH444, who has 70%, so I would imagine he'll blast back past in a couple of moments' time. But yeah, for the time being, V2X Combat is running 2nd.
Something I'd just like to pick up on.
Oh, no?
Did V2X Combat start on the softs?
No. He started... Actually... Yes, I think. Let me have a quick look at the race director. Yes, he did. He started on the softs.
In that case, he could probably, with a little bit of luck from safety cars, I'm taking that into account because obviously it's played a huge role in recent races. But with
Alice Gamer Boss is in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's had to serve his 5-second.
But
Forgot about that, so that will put him down the order. But continue, Adam.
Oh Jesus! Sorry, there's a battle going on. Busy Gorgon and Sink Sam going side by side into turn 3, turn 4 now coming. There's Sink Sam on the outside coming.
Sam could probably get a good exit out there, and it looks like he's just about hanging on in there. No, he's not. He's backed out.
Just had to back out. Yeah.
But these two are going to have a monstrous crash soon. I'm calling it now because they are battling very, very hard through very, very high-speed corners.
Commentators curse say that they won't crash. And then they will.
They won't crash. Busy Gorgon and Sam Cole will finish 1-2 in the end.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. But I mean, while this is all going on, GSR FH444 as Sam gets a time penalty for I'm not going to lie, even though Sam is a bit gay. That was a retarded time penalty. But yeah, GSR FH444 is right in front of these two as well, so he could get past very soon as Alfie George gets ahead of Axe F1. Corey Marshall also trying to pass Axe F1 at the next available opportunity. But let's have a look then. Will Busy Gorgon go for a move on GSR FH444? Don't think he will, because GSR, I'm calling him that long name again. I'm not supposed to call him that. He told me to call him FH because it's easier. But yeah, so FH has got the DRS off of V2X Combat, so so obviously he can use that to defend as Corey Marshall. Just about is. Oh, they're going side by side still. Axe F1 is not letting him pass. Corey Marshall is trying his very, very best to get past this racing point as fast as he can, and he does get past Axe F1. So Axe F1, 11 lap old hards. Well, Corey Marshall, he had the move done, but he lost it on the exit of turn 1, which allowed Axe F1 to fight it all the way to, I believe, turn 6 before Corey Marshall eventually got the move done. So he would have lost more time than he was hoping for there, Corey Marshall, but at least he's not in the barriers, because of course you never want to be in the barriers. But yeah, just having a look at everyone's ERSs at the moment. There's quite a few people running on practically nothing. Yeah, Sam Cole, one of them, he's nearly on 0. Sam, so it's weird, like Sam is usually quite good, I thought, at saving ERS, but right now he's just got really involved in this battle and he's kind of burning it as VRT Lily now sets the fastest lap of the race as ABS Jarv and Brood going side by side through turn 1. Renault versus Red Bull. Who's going to come out on top of this? And it looks like it's going to be Brood for the time being, unless Jarv can get a sensational exit out of turn 4. And you know what? He might just... No, he can't. I thought for a second he did, but he didn't. Yeah, I noticed pretty much immediately that he didn't. I thought that he was going to get a really good cutback, but he didn't, because he's
It looked like it.
I suppose.
He had the
It did look like it. Yeah, he just didn't have the grip.
It's difficult offline here. It's difficult.
I think what's interesting about this track is you can take multiple lines through some of the corners, like turn 4. You can take a wide line and get a good exit, or you can take a really tight line. Same for which with turn 1.
I know you can also do that with turn, you know, the corner right next to the number 2 on the mini map. You can do that there quite a bit, like cut back late.
Wait, next to the 2. That is turn 9.
Turn 9 then, yeah. So,
yeah.
It's a very odd track.
It is. Personally, I don't like it very much. I don't think it flows very well. Yeah, it kind of does. I
think in time trial, when you're just sitting down to, you know, drive, because why not? It's quite nice just to give it a go. But I think if you're really trying to get really, really fast times, it's an absolute nightmare because you get distracted by the fact that, at least in my eyes, I get distracted by the fact that it's so nice to drive that it actually slows me down in some way.
Well, that's interesting. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I know. I just really like it, but I'm not quick.
I hate driving it. I'm extremely slow. I believe my best is a 108.5. So
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not quick at it, but I enjoy it.
I don't enjoy it, and I'm not quick at it. So so yeah, it's not that great as FRLMG gets ahead of GSR ADEP1. I believe, unless he was already ahead, but I'm a little bit blind, so I'm not completely sure.
I think he did.
Yeah, I thought so. I wasn't completely sure. But yeah, we're on lap 18 of 36, so we're about halfway through. V2X Combat leads. He has yet to make a pit stop. He is on very alternate strategy, because maybe if he can stretch those mediums for long enough, he could go for softs. It would be a stretch, but it's possible. He leads Busy Gorgon, who leads Sam Cole, a.k.a. Sink Sam, a.k.a. 13-year-old midget, who leads his teammate, FRA-LMG. The two Mercedes started on the front row of this race. They're now running 3rd and 4th. GSR ADF1 is running 5th. He is on the same strategy as the top 3 at the moment, and he is leading a bunch of hard runners, most of which are fresh, and then there is the odd one or two, such as Axe F1, who is on 14 lap old hards, who will probably have to make another pit stop. Gagoda also needing to make another pit stop, 15 lap old mediums, so he is on the same strategy as those in the top 5, and then of course Formula Acos, who is running at a bit of a snail's pace at the moment, which is not what I expected. Yeah, he's running 17th on his debut as he comes into the pits now to make his one and hopefully only pit stop of this race, other than the one he's already. And he's, for God's sake,
his one and only pit stop. You were right.
Well then, yeah. I am disappointed in Acos. I backed him up a lot because I've seen him drive and I know he's quick, but he's just not done well today. So
maybe
I don't know why.
Just doesn't suit his style, you know. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know Venom, Adam?
Yeah. Because I gave you what? Because I took him out so that you could win, and then you didn't win.
Yeah.
You disappointed me.
But yeah, I commentated over a race with Venom and Acos in it. It was an esports race. And literally, Acos was more than a match for Venom, and we know how quick Venom is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected Acos to come in here and probably be challenging in the points. Maybe not like top 5, but like in the points somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not quite panned out that way, unfortunately, and it's instead left to V2X Combat to do the dirty work, who's actually lapping at a fairly good pace right now, despite qualifying 19th for whatever goddamn reason. He's now extending his advantage to the 2 behind, Sam Cole and Busy Gorgon. So, I believe the gap was 1.4 seconds a couple of laps ago. It's now 2.1. Yeah. So yeah, V2X Combat is in a nice rhythm at the moment. It's also worth pointing out that Sam Cole has got a time penalty as well. Also, that could come back to bite him as well.
I have a fun fact.
Do you?
Yes.
You're gay?
The last last time Sync Sam was in front of Ferrari LMG in a race, Ferrari LMG didn't finish. Coincidence? I think not.
Well, that could be a bad omen. That could be interesting then. To be honest, actually, I've got to look at this. Alfie George and Corey Marshall into turn 1. Alfie George on the outside, Corey Marshall on the inside, but it's going to become an outside and then an inside again and then an outside again into turn 4. There's a little bit of contact between them. Lock up for Alfie George on the inside tire, a little bit more contact between them. And eventually, after a bit of bumper carts, Corey Marshall is ahead of Alfie George and up into 5th place. And Alfie George is now in a Ferrari sandwich with a Corey Marshall in front of him and a VRT Lily behind him. And if I'm honest, VRT Lily is not something you want to see behind you if you're in a league race. Probably one of the worst things you could ever see, and I'm sure Alfie George will be feeling that pressure of being in front of the championship leader at the moment. Jack probably sizing up a move very, very soon indeed.
He's
but
actually
it looks like
pushing him along.
Yeah. Oh. You can I'm on board with Alfie George, just looking at his reverse on board, and you can just see VRT Lily pushing him around the corners as we go through turn 15 now, and we'll have to see if VRT Lily goes for a move. I mean, look at the momentum he's got. I mean, well, he's probably using his overtake, I would imagine, but yeah, he fairly easily breezes past Alfie George, who gets on the grass briefly on the entry. Sent him a little bit wide, but not too much. So yeah, Ferrari now running 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Ferrari like to do that to their opponents, don't they? In ABS at least, they like to gang up on them. Corey Marshall and VRT Lily, they just come out of nowhere, and then by the time you see that they're right behind you, bam, they're gone. They're in the distance, 5 seconds, whatever. This is how they roll, the Ferrari guys.
They're like a freight train.
Yeah.
Like they just force their way through like one after another, and it's something that Mercedes just aren't able to do very often, because their drivers are often so spread out. As Sam Cole is now running 12th after a pit stop, same with Busy Gorgon. So that could gain them some time on V2X Combat. But yeah, Mercedes are just always in the wrong place at the wrong time, whereas Ferrari, they're always together. I mean, they weren't together last week for the majority of the race,
And it's kind
but
of
more often than not, they are.
it's kind
And
of like
as we say that,
oh, he's
here
pitted.
comes VRT Lilly on his teammate Corey Marshall. We'll come back to what you're saying in just a second, Adam.
Sorry.
And yeah, VRT Lilly is now the lead Ferrari. So yeah, now you can say what you want to say, Mr. Jetbelly 1.
It's kind of like leapfrog. The way these guys race is they get really close to each other, usually in a good points position because they are Ferrari, and they just stay there. And then every few laps they'll just switch over positions to see whoever's faster. You know, replenish their overtake behind another guy who's giving them over DRS. The teamwork in this team is insane.
They're not even in contact either.
Are they not?
No, I've asked them before, and they're not in a party or anything. So this is just purely
Chemistry.
instinct, I guess.
Yeah. It's quite something.
Compare that to Mercedes. Mercedes are in a party together.
Maybe
And they are 11th and 1st. So
maybe they need to not be in a party together.
that may be the secret, as VRT Lilly sets the fastest lap of the race now. So Ferrari looking very, very speedy at this point in time. As I say that, Busy Gorgon sets the fastest lap of the race, but he is on the softs, so he's a little bit irrelevant at this point in time, running in 10th. For God's sake, has he closed the gap on Combat? Oh no, I was looking at the wrong gap. I'm retarded. But yeah, so these three soft runners, V2X Combat, Busy Gorgon, and Sing Sam, they could play a role.
They could,
because they're not that far off. What?
Sorry,
what?
I just saw.
Don't go and then don't tell me what it is.
Well, now I'm just not going to see it. You've given me an idea.
Have I?
Alright, I'm joking. So, V2X Combat, going through that really fast right-hander, he caught the inside curve, and I know that when you do that, it's like nearly death. And I saw him do the equivalent of full lock on the controller to save it. It was practically drifting on the exit.
Yeah, I'd imagine his heart rate would have gone up just a little bit there. As here he comes on Maddest Gamer Boss, the first of the hard runner victims. Who's at the front of this group? Brood. So, as I say that, here comes ABS Job to challenge. Oh, that was contact there. And ABS Job gets sent into a half spin, but stays behind Brood for the time being. Went for a late move up the inside and didn't pay off. So yeah, he's still running in 6th. And now TLT Danny is a little bit closer to him than he would have liked, I would imagine. These two Finnish boys, Finnish lads. I don't know what the Finnish word for men is. Not that they are men, because they are not over the age of 18 as far as I know. I think Jarva's my age. Jarva's the same age as me.
No, Jarva's my age.
How old is he? I thought he was 14.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought he was 14. But I mean, I can't go off of school years, because in Finland it's all different and weird, so...
Whoa,
so
that's
yeah.
a little bit culturally insensitive.
How?
I'm joking. Calm down.
Oh. I don't understand school systems in any other country, if I'm honest, but yeah, I mean, of course I'm used to my own, so and I think because of this DRS train, V2X Combat is going to struggle to get past them. Oh, don't go into the back of TRT Danny or I will shoot you. Okay, but yeah, and while these three are holding him up, he can't get after the people ahead, which is Corey Marshall and the two Ferraris, and to be fair, Corey Marshall on the two Ferraris, Alfie George on the two Ferraris, I meant. To be fair, Alfie George is stuck with the two Ferraris. They're all in a nice little train together. As ABS Java is really holding up Danny now, which is holding up Combat as well. Combat, if you break your front wing, I will actually shoot you. Like, not even gonna lie.
Shoot the other
go
guy.
over. That's true, actually. Oh, don't go up the inside there. Don't go up the inside there. Oh, this is nerve-wracking to watch. And while they're holding up V2X Combat, Busy Gorgon is going to come and join this party as well. I mean, look at the time he's gaining on the exit of turn 13. We now go through turn 14. But yeah, I would imagine V2X Combat, he's got a little bit more ERS saved up this time.
gonna have to send it if he wants to get it
The
done.
red light is flashing on TRT Danny, so he could send it. Oh my God!
Oh!
That was late. Oh, but V2X Combat has not quite got it done just yet, as TRT Danny is not going to give it up, but does eventually have to give it up. And so V2X Combat, with a very, very late move there, gets ahead of TRT Danny. My heart rate, jeez.
Nearly hit Jarv.
That could have gone so wrong. Like, he nearly hit Jarv. It wasn't Danny. Danny was sent into orbit by that. But it was a nearly collected Jarv, and that would have been... Well, it would have been Jarv spun round and V2X Combat without a front wing. So, yeah, I guess V2X Combat, he has to do that, I suppose, because this DRS train is... There's not really a lot else he can do. But I just hope he doesn't do that too often, because otherwise it will go wrong eventually, and believe me, it does. So we've now got 9 laps to go in this race, which will become 8 laps in just a short moment. This race has gone quite quick, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, and here he comes then on V2X Combat on ABS Jarv. ABS Jarv isn't going to fight this one into turn 1. So the man that almost torpedoed him 1 lap ago now overtakes him. So V2X Combat up into the top 6. I would take a top 6 finish from V2X Combat. That's decent. After starting 19th, that's more than enough for me. And it might not even be it. He may get higher than that.
Definitely driver of the day, though. I mean, 8 laps left and he's in 6th. There's still a lot of opportunities.
He could actually, if it's possible he could get Alfie George.
Yeah, it's possible.
It would be bold, but it's possible. The gap is about 4 seconds.
I mean, he is bold.
With 8 laps to go.
Did you not see the move on
we saw that,
Danny?
didn't we? Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, I mean, he sent Danny to orbit and nearly killed Jarv. So, and I'm sure Jarv has no idea how close he came to death in that moment. But yeah, and this should be quite an easy pass for V2X Combat now, because Bruges won't have the DRS. So finally, V2X Combat will get an easy move done, as here he comes on Bruges, and Bruges isn't using his DRS, so here he comes down the inside into turn 1. Don't hit that curve on the inside, and he doesn't. So V2X Combat up into 5th place from 19th on the grid. And meanwhile, Busy Gorgon and Sink Sam are struggling to get past this massive train of hard runners. As you can see here, Sam and Nathan just behind these three. So we've got yellow flags in the background. That's Maddest Gamer Boss. I thought I saw someone go off in the background, and I did. So yeah, that's Maddest Gamer Boss, the man who was briefly running in 2nd in this race, now spun round without a front wing and running 14th. So I do feel for Maddest Gamer Boss. He's very fast. He's just been a bit unlucky.
Also quite a nice guy, to be honest, when we interviewed him earlier in the season.
Yeah, definitely. Just want to say something about the chat at the moment. Ben, you are playing with fire at the moment. This is about the time I'd go on wets and ruin FRALMG's race. Yeah, I'm. Don't.
If we speak, we'll get trouble. So let's just, you know.
Yeah. Lewis is still unhappy about that, I think. So.
I would be too.
Yeah. Ben says sorry, Lewis. I mean, Ben did apologise, but I don't think Lewis was too happy either way. And speaking of that, Jack is catching Lewis. The gap was about 2.4. It's now 1.9. So the two Ferraris always made. Oh, okay. I thought someone. Okay, never mind. I thought someone crashed, but yeah, Maddest Gamer Boss retires on lap 30. And becomes the 5th retirement of this race. The two Ferraris are catching him now, 1.8 seconds. We could see a battle for the lead. It's not out of the question, but it would be very, very late. So,
and it's
1.7 now.
I reckon it would be around the same time as V2X Combat catches up to Alfie George, but it doesn't look like he's got the pace to, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, Brood is actually stuck in his DRS. So, yeah, and he hasn't got any ERS to really help him push on. So, it's a problem sometimes. Like, you'll have so much pace to get past people, and then as soon as you do, it all of a sudden disappears and you can't get past anyone. As speaking of people getting past people, FH gets past Axe F1 before turn 1 arrives and up into 12th place. So the battle for the couple of positions outside the points at the moment. What's happened to Kagoda? Why is Kagoda so far off?
I think he had that drive-through and the front wing damage.
I expected him to make a bit more progress.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because he pitted. That might be it. Sam Cole and Busy Gorgon are still not able to get past the 3 hard runners. I think what it could be is Busy Gorgon and Sam Cole are experiencing the same thing Combat is experiencing, where the soft tyres are going off a little bit.
Yeah.
And the hard tyres are sort of coming back into their own. And it's even worse for Nathan and Sam because their soft tyres are a lap older. So, so yeah, they just haven't been able to make much of an impact on the 3 ahead, and they're almost dropping off.
Yeah.
Because Danny, look how far he is up the road from Nathan.
V-Switch Combat, his tyres are 8 laps old. I think around the track they do around...
Got the inside of Busy Gorgon. Sorry, Nate. Sorry, Adam. Okay,
Carry
that
on.
was a pretty simple move.
Oh,
So
no,
up
it's
to 9th. Continue.
Right. Yeah, so his tyres are going off, and it's reached a point where the hards have actually... I think they were 11 laps old when V2X Combat went onto the softs. So this is around about the time when the hards and the softs are beginning to switch over in kind of advantage in a way, because softs have kind of degraded enough so that they don't have the pace, but the hards are also quite old, and despite being more durable, also just don't really have much pace. So it's going to be interesting to see if Brujamanix can actually come back at V2X Combat, because I know he's got similar amount of ERS, so it will be mostly down to just tyres and pace, to be honest.
Yeah, well, hard tyres, they're quite consistent around this track, I think, because Danny and Jarv going side by side into turn 1. Danny gets ahead of ABS Jarv. So a fairly simple move there. One Finnish man replaces the unfinished lad. Yeah, the hards. Oh, it's Jarv! Oh my god, that was an incredible save, but it is going to lose him a position there. Or will it? Sam Cole goes up the inside of ABS Jarv and yeah, gets ahead of ABS Jarv. Good opportunism there from 6. Sam gets ahead and up into 8th place. So yeah, Sam lost it on, not Sam, Jarv lost it on the exit of turn 4, and I'm surprised that didn't make the barriers, to be honest.
This is really good actually, because it shows us the representative pace between the tyres. Because I mean, if you look at Sam and Jarv, they're pretty much not gaining or losing to each other. But then on the exits of corners, you'll see Jarv's delta just drop away massively.
Well, let's have a look then. So the gap is 4 tenths. Now it's 4.5. Now back to 4, and now the DRS, so it's a bit irrelevant. We'll see on the exit of turn 1. That's a good place to look.
Yeah.
So right. So the gap is 5 tenths.
Jarv made a mistake.
Now it's 6
there.
tenths. Now it's 7 tenths. Yeah, Jarv did make a mistake. Yeah, he did, because Nathan's all over him now. So soft tyre versus hard tyre. If you want a really good comparison, look at Busy Gorgon versus ABS Jarv. So gap for the lead is now 1.2 seconds. But I think LMG is just about going to be able to hold off by the looks of it. And Busy Gorgon's got a fat chunk of understeer, sorry, through turn 7. And so he's not going to be able to go for a move on ABS Jarv anytime soon.
I feel really sorry for
TLT Danny could be sizing up a move on Bruges soon.
Also, oh yeah, he is. Only 3 tenths.
Yeah, very, very close. Oh, he lost time though. He lost time out of 13. He collected the curb on the inside, and that's lost him a little bit of momentum. But he is still in the DRS, just not quite as close as he was before. Bruges has not got as much ERS as Danny, so Danny could get. Actually, no, Danny's got a time penalty, so he won't get him, I don't think. So the only 3 drivers actually with time penalties are Danny, Sam, and Axe. The rest of the grid haven't got a time penalty, so yeah, that will probably affect them in the long run. Sam could drop out of the points Actually, no, he wouldn't, because AF1's quite a long way behind. Sam will probably get P10.
Yeah, he will.
Danny P9. Other than that, Axe F1 is already at the points.
He'll stay where he is, to be honest.
Yeah,
look how long
pretty
he's taken
similar.
those hards. 31 laps.
Jeez, I didn't actually realise that. That is a
quite some stint.
That is, yeah. He's done pretty much the entire race on them. But yeah,
bringing a new
and
meaning
also
to
in the
a
chat.
one-stop.
Yeah, he's done pretty much a 0 stop.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah, and Ben in the chat said, I thought Sam was good at Zandvoort. He qualified second, so he is good, but it's just he's been on kind of the wrong strategy, I think, because Danny and Bruges going side by side. Danny blasts past Bruges. Oh, actually, he doesn't. Not yet. Bruges didn't want to give it up, made a bit of contact, but Danny is ahead of Bruges and up into 6th position. But he will probably be conceded on time penalties, so as Bruges pretty much pushes him through turn 4.
Yeah, so Hard's actually got the advantage at the moment because Sink Sam's just been re-overtaken by ABS Jarve, obviously after he made that mistake.
Yeah.
So
well, it's the final lap now, so this is when the softs will be at their worst. And looking at the battle for the lead, couple more laps, and VLT Lily possibly could have got this, I think.
I think FR.
But I think it's going to be LMG,
yeah.
which will be Redemption. And I'm going to have to do some kind of serious thing now because I do know what to say actually for this announcement of his win. So FRA LMG, it is Redemption for last week. His first win in over a year. FRA LMG wins ABS Tier 1 ahead of VRT Lily. Corey Marshall, a double Ferrari podium once again. VRT Lily and Corey Marshall complete the podium. Alfie George, a solid P4 for AlphaTauri, although I do kind of hate him because I don't want AlphaTauri to do well, but it doesn't matter. V2X Combat gets 5th for Haas after starting 19th. That is a good drive. Bruges gets 6th ahead of ABS Jarve, ahead of the two McLarens, TRT Danny and Busy Gorgon. They would have hoped for more after their qualifying session. Sink Sam rounds out the points positions and he's left almost immediately, so he does not seem too happy whatsoever. GSR 8F1 is 11th, GSR FH444 12th, Axe F1 after his 0 stop strategy is 13th. Mr. Boca crosses the line 14th. He gets the fastest lap as well. Kokoda will try for it as well. Let's see if he can get it. He does. So Kokoda does get the fastest lap of the race on the final lap.
Good race, man. That was good.
That was decent. That flew by, to be fair. I mean, it wasn't particularly exciting. It wasn't like everyone crashing into barriers all the time exciting, but it was decent.
Yeah, it was a good race. Like, I was really happy with that. We had some really nice battles. And there was some really pretty sexy strategy choices.
Indeed. I don't think this track is always going to be the best for racing. So I mean that was decent.
Same points haul for Ferrari and Mercedes though, because obviously win is 25, second place is 15, and third place is 10. So both teams get 25 points for this weekend. That's going to be interesting for the constructors fight, I can tell you that.
Yeah, indeed. Who are leading the constructors? It's Ferrari, right?
Yeah, Ferrari are leading the constructors, but I think this race showed that Mercedes maybe could have done a bit better. Oh no, sorry, Mercedes got 1 point over Ferrari with Sink Sam in 10th.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Mercedes could have actually had a really good points haul today if Sink Sam didn't get that, because I think he would have been in the end P6, P7, around there. So it's just a bit unlucky for him that he got that 3-second time penalty, and it would have been really good for the constructors, but you know, things happen.
Indeed, very well put, Mr. Jet Belly 1. I have invited the top 3 to the party.
That was a good race.
It's decent. Corey Marshall gets in the pot. There he is. Okay.
Nice. Axe ended up on 97% tyres. Lovely.
Okay, so could you all include your audios, please?
No.
Wait. Good race. Can I do the first question?
Who said no? Was that Jack?
Yeah,
Nah, it was Lewis. What do you mean?
it was just no. I would never say no.
Let you off this one
Both of
time,
us, to be
whoever it
honest.
was. I didn't quite hear. Jetbelly, you want to start the interview?
Yay! Alright. FRALMG, you've won for the first time in a year. And how does it
Wait.
feel? Of being,
1.5 years.
denied in Hungary, and then 1.5 years. That's even better. 1.5 years since you won in ABS, denied in Hungary, and then you come back one race later, and bam, that's another win. That's got to feel great.
Correct. Yeah, it actually went very well. I didn't think Sandford would be a good track for me, but it was, and I won, so I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to.
Nice
hear.
response, Adam. Nice response. Just say yeah.
Yeah. I do just have one more thing to say. FRALMG for owner riots.
I agree.
I don't. I'm gonna be the owner. I'm calling it out. So yeah, no FRALMG for owner. Nah.
You
never.
own F1 GXL though.
Shut up. There's never too much harm in owning multiple leagues, but
Mark Zuckerberg of F1 leagues.
LMG, are you glad that there is no bad F1 opinion on the wets in the dry to deny you a race win this week?
Very happy, yes. Yeah, lucky on pit for wets this time. I was just hoping for the end of lap 33 to come so no one could cause a safety car. And in the end, no one caused a safety car. So, yeah, shame he left, but it meant I won. So, we're hey.
Do you hold a grudge against him?
I won today, so no. Nah, not really. It's
Fair
fine.
enough. Did last week kind of like power you up this week to do better and get the win?
I would say yeah, actually, to be fair. Because obviously last week I was going to win, but then that didn't happen, so it made me want to win even more this week. And yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it did give me some fuel.
And did you feel under pressure by these other two gentlemen in the party in those final few laps?
A lot, yes.
Or did you feel like you could? Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, the end was very, very scary because Jack was gaining a couple attempts per lap. Got in my DRS on the last lap, so lucky there was only 36 laps and not 37.
Yeah, it would have been a close one if there were 37. But yeah, that is all I have to ask, Lewis. Thank you for answering every question with finesse.
Finesse.
And well done.
Thank you.
Okay then. So now he left immediately. What a neek, man. Okay, so we move on to
Ferraris.
Adam. Are you playing Assetto Corsa during the interviews?
No, I'm loading it up.
To be honest,
That's
he
just
was,
as
playing, he
bad.
was playing COD like another time. So it's normal. Adam.
I just started streaming COD on the ABS one, SF1 account during the interviews.
Ugh.
Oh dear. Oh.
Me and Java's
That's funny.
CEOs are playing different games. He does NBA 2K during the interviews, and I play Assetto and COD.
Okay. Jack.
Chris,
2 podiums in 2 weeks.
indeed.
Are you happy with that?
Considering what happened to turn 1, yes. I don't know how I got let off with wing damage. I was
What
getting...
even happened at turn 1?
Right, the thing is, turn 1, taking my normal line, 3 people jump started. I was going through turn 1 comfortably. As I didn't know, I had Kagoda going up my inside, going up turn 1, which was a bit optimistic. He gets spun, then I get spun because someone's turned right into my rear left tyre. Jarv goes off the track, and then Jarv's pushing me with on my wing, and I suddenly end up back on the racing line, and safety car came out. So I
Speaking
am
of
very
being
surprised that I did not get wing damage, not even light green or anything, just squeaky clean, just no wing damage at all.
So you got quite lucky, would you say?
Well, I reckon if the turn one incident didn't happen, I reckon my pace was really good, as I really like this track in the race. So I would have been turn one incidents. I could have actually been closer to Lewis, but obviously I was only a little bit off Lewis, but I was gaining a lot on him as I did the overcut.
I think you could have had the win though.
One more lap, I could have.
No, I mean without damage. Had you not got like...
Well, I didn't get any wing damage, but if the turn one thing didn't happen, I would have had a better chance. And I would have had more ERS. I would have had like 40. I would have had like 8% of ERS because I burned it on people, trying to get past people. And round here, ERS saving is literally nothing.
I didn't hear a lot of what you just said. I dropped my controller.
Oh well.
And the battery fell out. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume your answer was very good.
It was a great answer.
Okay. Corey Marshall,
Level
what was
9
your view of
GCSE.
the first lap carnage?
4 cars spun. I just slid down the middle of the track into 5th place out of nowhere. Easy.
Well,
Just casual.
that is, yeah. Corey Marshall is casual, isn't he? He's the CEO of laid back, I think. Corey Marshall. He's like Kimi Räikkönen. He's just chill. But yeah,
Plus he's a Ferrari driver.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Exactly. Have you got any questions for Corey Marshall, Jet Belly?
Yeah. How do you do it? Week in and week out. How do you just... You guys are such good teammates. It's unbelievable.
And you're not in contact either.
No.
We're just too good, aren't we?
I just sit behind Jack and just take his DRS. No works for me. It's basically I just let him go and just let him catch LMG and
Just
just
let
hope
him
that
do
I
his
stick with
thing,
him.
and he drags
Yeah,
you
I
along.
burned all my ERS trying to get past Alfie George and bumping, but
And then Jack just comes and does it with ease.
yeah, I didn't bother
Yeah.
trying to defend because I knew he'd be a lot faster. And I knew that it was probably 4 podiums or something like that. I think the
Yeah.
podium will do. Good recovery, I suppose, after qualifying. I don't know what happened in qualifying. I got DNF'd for clipping a barrier.
Oh.
Although none of my tires had popped, or didn't lose any of the tires. It's just if I spun to clip the barrier at the exit of the last corner because I was pushing way too hard and just DNF'd me. Rather would.
Oh, right. So you both crashed out of qualifying, I think.
Yeah.
My qualifying, right? I was on an outlap, and Nathan was also on an outlap, and obviously with my big brain,
Which is
I just
non-existent.
I just stare into a wall and give myself wing damage. So
Wow.
Absolute goats.
it's
Is
just
that
amazing.
is that the
really.
Ferrari master plan then? You both retire in qualifying and then just get a double podium? Is that
Yeah,
pretty much.
ball in quali, and then we go fast in the race, and obviously today showed that.
Well then, I'm going to keep that in mind for Tier 2 tomorrow. I'll tell all my drivers that actually, if you just crash in qualifying, then you'll win or get a double podium. So, but yeah, that Ferrari plans revealed right here in the commentary box or the interviews, whatever. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say unless you do, Adam.
Do I ever have anything to say?
You're driving in a Seto Corsa, so I'm not really that surprised.
He just
Yeah,
wants
I
the
just got
interview to
spun.
get over, really.
Yeah. Well, considering Adam is driving in, what is it?
Tier 3. Because I left Tier 2 because I was annoyed at my internet.
No, I meant the track you're driving on in a Seto Corsa.
Oh, Vallelunga.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so I haven't got anything else to say, and he's driving it. That
F3
track.
Whatever
car
it's
at
called.
Vallelunga,
Yeah, whatever
by the
it's
way.
called.
It's not a real track, I don't think. It
Oh,
might
okay
be.
then.
Not entirely sure.
All right then. Well, I think that will be it then. So well done to Corey Marshall and Jack. We'll see you next week for whatever track it is. I don't know what.
Singapore.
Singapore. I like Singapore. I'm gonna win Singapore.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
I'm gonna absolutely struggle around them.
Are
I
you
can already tell.
are you two good at Singapore?
No,
With
not really.
line, yes, but the
I
thing
like
is,
Singapore.
with no line, I ain't tested it yet, which isn't a good sign.
Okay, so we got a maybe from
Love
Jack and a
Singapore,
no
so good.
from Corey. So
Are you good at Singapore?
I am, yeah.
I like it. I like
I like it
Singapore.
as well. But I mean, this interview isn't supposed to be about us and what we think. So
It can be about anything we want.
I suppose so, since we are streaming. So yeah.
What do you think of the new Jeddah track?
The new Jeddah track.
Horrible.
Is that the Saudi Arabia one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you supposed to overtake
It looks
on
like it looks like a retarded fork.
It looks like
forks are you
France, but
eating
made
with?
worse for overtaking.
Well, one them chippy forks
Voice
you
crack.
get from the chippy.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the woodenish ones.
Yeah, the woodenish ones. It looks like that.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't had a fish and chip
It does
fish
actually.
and chips like meal for so long. So yeah. That'll be interesting. It'll be on the next F1 game, won't it?
Yeah.
No, because it'll be for next season. It'll be for the next F1
Oh
game.
yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. I had a break. Wait, no. Hold on, no.
No,
it
it'll
will
be
be
on
on the
2021.
It
next
will be on the
F1
next one. You're an idiot, Jack. Shut up.
No, because because last season's F1 tracks like Imola, Portimao, Nürburgring, they'll be on this next game, and then
Oh, okay. So they've just decided
Port-
to go a year in the past from now on.
yeah.
I don't think that's how it
Well,
works.
no, it's normal.
no,
it's
no, no,
normal.
No, us.
It's
Imola
normal.
No,
Imola
these
and
cars
Port-
are based off of the season that's just passed.
Yeah, no, Imola and Portimao will be on the next game because it's on this season's calendar.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
yeah.
so is Jeddah.
So Jeddah
Jeddah's
will
on
be
this
on it
season's
as well.
calendar as well.
Yeah.
No,
What?
Yeah.
Jeddah
What are
was
you
no.
on?
Jeddah was not on last season's calendar.
Right.
It's on this season calendar,
Yes.
which will be
Yeah.
for the next F1 game.
Yeah, but neither
So-
was Netherlands last year, but Netherlands on this game.
Exactly.
So it's not how it works. It's just whatever's on the
Jack.
whatever's on the provisional
F1
calendar, like confirmed, like if you know what I mean, before the first race, it's what is. If you know what I mean, on
they
the
just
game.
don't
So
include
like,
the tracks that are like put in mid-season. Include
Ah,
those.
okay,
Yeah.
Because they
okay,
can't be
okay,
bothered.
okay.
yeah, so whatever's
Uh,
like, so because it's the final lineup guaranteed, like, you know what I mean, so obviously Bahrain's first, and Australia's like the fourth last race. It'll change to Australia be the fourth last race on the calendar, and Bahrain will be first.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You know.
Are you brain dead, Jack?
You know we're still streaming.
I know. I know.
I know, this is just part of the after party.
Yeah. It's just an afternoon tea.
Yeah.
At
Jack
8
is
o'clock.
not very smart. But we
It's
should
an
probably
F1
end it there.
podcast.
We will see you next week for Singapore when ABS Tier 1 returns. Bye-bye.
No, we won't.